What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kraken Hunters. I am, of course, Carolina Hitman, and today we'll be reviewing one of my favorite statues in my collection, and that's Gallevarbe, Death Siren. It's from Sideshow Collectibles. This has been one of my favorite pieces ever since I was able to purchase it, I think earlier this year or late last year. Of course, I'm a big Quarter of the Dead line fan, and usually every piece they release, I try to pick up as soon as possible or pre-order it before it sells out. But I've really enjoyed this. I enjoyed the detail, but I don't want to spend too much time on the intro. I want to go ahead and jump into this. So let's begin this review. For those who aren't familiar with her particular character, I'll try to give a little background. She was a Thracian spy living behind enemy lines amongst Romans. She was discovered during the turmoil leading up to the Battle of the River Siren. She was abandoned by her allies and chose to throw herself into the sea rather than face her captors and risk giving up valuable secrets that may tip the tide in the battle in her homeland. It was this final act of loyalty that caught the attention of Death. Once she was in the underworld, the Queen of the Dead shaped her into the form that you see right now. All this information that I was able to obtain is actually taken out the Chronicles of the Underworld book that Sideshow created to give background on each one of their characters that they've introduced in this line. It's a really good book. I'll put a link in the description, so you may, for those who are a fan of the Quarter of the Dead line and may not have known they had that, I'll put a link in the description so you might be able to purchase it. But I love the look at this statue and the interesting history behind her character. But let's get started on this review so we can actually go over the details and give a good description of it. Sideshow did an amazing job with the portrait of her face. The eyes were perfectly spaced apart. She doesn't look cross-eyed or anything like that. The paint application on her face was really good. I love the highlights of her cheekbones, her chin, her eyebrows. I thought they did a really good job highlighting her face. Her hair is really good. I'm gonna rotate this so you all can see it. And I like the wet look, like she's just coming out of the sea. They did a really good job, simulating that look with her hair. And of course, this right here is actually removable. I don't want to get in no trouble because we all know what's under those. But that's actually removable, so you have another option on how you want to display it. Lower it down a little bit to the water effect, which I thought they did a pretty decent job. It's nothing special. It's actually plastic, which I'm actually glad they did it that way instead of actually try to do a sculpt of it. I think it would have been harder to ship that way. So I like the way they broke it up to two separate parts to hook into her. And I think it does a decent job of simulating water. I'll give you a view right here. Like she just popped out of the ocean. I thought they did a good job of that. Her hands are really good. They had that web feel, like sort of like an amphibian. Okay. Reminds me of the creature from the Black Lagoon. That's what kind of those webbed fingers. I imagine, living in the sea like she does, you kind of need that. Now I'm gonna go a little bit lower. And I like the way it transitions from the top half to the bottom half. It actually gives you a distinct feeling of the illusion of beauty on the top and what her true form is underneath. I actually really like the way they did that. And of course, that goes all the way around. Like I said, it really gives a distinct feeling to it as far as portraying that illusion of beauty and then the real decay underneath what's underneath the surface of the water. Now we're finna get into my favorite part of the statue, and to me, what is the best part is under the water, you can see where she's actually ensnared a couple of human males underneath the water, and it looks like she's sucking the essence or life force out of them. And I thought the detail on these were really well done. I mean, they look decaying and dying and bloated, which is exactly what you'd expect from something that's actually underneath the water decaying. And I thought Sideshow did a really good job on the look of all these, on the decaying parts of the men, and even just the rest of her body. Which this base is actually pretty detailed, well, not the base, but the underwater part of her statue. See, and there's actually three different forms underneath the water, as you can see right here. I'll move her little spine out the way. And I thought the detail on this was really well done, especially the look of decay on Gallevarbe, as far as the rest of her body. Give you all a really detailed look at some of the figures. Like I said, I thought this was really well done, especially this mummified type sculpt that they have right here. Once again, paint application was perfect. And the base is actually really well done. Kind of shows looks like the sea bottom. I thought that was really well done. The base is actually pretty heavy too. Your final once over, so you can see the entire thing. Just an amazing amount of detail. You see how good the sculpt is right there, where it's transitioning from the ocean and the surface. So this is an amazing statue and a really, really detailed piece of work. Get ready for my closing thoughts on the statue. Overall, this is one of my favorite pieces from the Court of the Dead. And it wasn't until I got the Jester the other week, she was my favorite piece in this line, but he took over that spot and she's number 2 now. But I just love the detail in it. You know, each individual body, you know, the decaying effect throughout her entire statue, the color, everything about this was perfect. And like I said before in one of my other reviews, as a statue collector, when you pay the amount of money that you pay for your statues, you want them to have, basically have no defects on them and be perfect when you receive them. And I was one of the lucky ones who had no defects. The paint was perfect. Everything about it this spoke to the quality that Sideshow has been putting into this particular line. Unfortunately, this one is actually sold out on the Sideshow Collectible website. You can pick it up through eBay, but unfortunately it's probably about maybe 1.5 to twice as much as it was if you had bought it through the website. I think the last time I checked on eBay, I saw some going for about $700. And I think when I picked this up, this was only $3.99. Which again is for me, the amount of quality and detail put in there, that's actually a really good price point for this statue. And I think Sideshow's been raising the prices on their Court of the Dead lot slightly, but not at a rate that feels like they're just trying to cash in on it. But I was really impressed when I first received it, and I still am impressed. This is one of my highlighted statues in my collection whenever I bring people over and want to show them. she's one of the main ones I like to bring their attention to. And from the detail that you can see, it's well deserved. So overall, like I said, I'm just pleased and was excited when I got it because of the quality and just the look of it itself. Well, I hope you all enjoyed my review of Gallevarbe. I hope you continue to subscribe and like, and hopefully I'll be able to review a few more of my statues over the next week or two. So I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I hope you've enjoyed the other ones. So this is Carolina Hitman. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. In the comment sections, let me know what you think about the statue personally. And if there's anything that I can do to improve the quality of the videos or anything like that, please let me know. I love the positive feedback or negative feedback. I love feedback in general because it helps me improve my channel. But thanks for joining me. I hope to see you next time. This is Carolina Hitman. I'm signing off.